everybody. My name's Kit Connolly. I'm an intuitive healer and intuition teacher. I have a wonderful intuitive mastery school where I teach people on all things intuition, and we have different themes and courses to suit every person and every budget. If you're wanting to join, please click on the link below and check out everything that we have on offer for you. And if you would like to subscribe to this channel, then please do so, because we would love to hear from you and speak with you as well. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about this concept of being right versus being connected. And it's just such a common one. It is such an issue that I find in so many different households with so many different people, because we have this inherent requirement and need, I think, as humans, to have a level of rightness or a level of winning. And we have to kind of check in with the concept of, does this actually create disconnection, or does this create better relationships? And sometimes, if we're trying to help people with a place of unconscious incompetence, which is they don't know what they don't know and they're kind of flying blind, sometimes, especially if we're perhaps a parent or someone very close and we want to be able to help these people have clarity about themselves, then maybe that's a great thing. However, I have to be really, really honest. I've seen this unfold so many times in my clinic, and I've seen it unfold in my family. I can almost 100% guarantee that every person that wants to go and be right with something and really fight for their point of view, or trying to, get their point across through either, conversation or manipulation or tricks or mind games or whatever it might be, even just flat out trying to argue their way to their point, I can absolutely guarantee that most of the time you're going to lose that other person. Not permanently, but certainly from a connection perspective. And it's not always easy to create that connection and keep it. The only way to do that is by conscious listening, connection, and love. And that can be really difficult, especially if you're differing so much with certain things. But if you have a disconnection with something, the most important thing that we can do in that relationship is speak to them about our feelings. And I know that can be really scary. And I know that we often have a lot of vulnerability when it comes to that. But it's like Brene Brown says, you can either be comfortable or you can be courageous, but you can't have both. You can't have both of those running as systems at the same time. So I can either keep things comfortable and not speak up and not make anyone uncomfortable and not cause problems, or I can be courageous and I can speak my truth and speak up about my emotions and try and create a connection. And we're always going to have a little bit of a difference between people versus being right. But I 100% promise you, if you choose your connection and the people that you're connected with over being right, you will 100% win every time anyway. Because what you're wanting at the end of the day, apart from having a little bit of vindication with your ego, is to have that strong connection with someone, or that's most people anyway, right? So if that's you, if you want that strong, loving connection with someone, maybe just take a second to step back on occasion and go, do I need to be right about this? This is not something that I necessarily need to push. Is this a battle worth fighting? Is this something that I need to really move through in order for me to feel good about myself? And then we kind of take it another step further again, and we go back to those three basic laws of communication, right? The three basic laws are, is it kind? Is it true? Or is it necessary? And if you only have one of those three, it's not really worth doing. If you have two out of the three, it probably is worth doing. So if you have something that's necessary to say but isn't kind or truthful, well, then obviously I wouldn't be saying it. But if you've got two of those showing up, then sometimes that is a really good framework for communication. So if you're not really sure, give yourself a moment to kind of sit with, am I trying to win or am I trying to connect? And if you're trying to win, maybe ask yourself why. And maybe ask yourself whether you can step back and just step into a place of honesty and emotions instead, which is going to take courage. And then when I speak, where am I coming from? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If it's all of those things, by all means, please say it. If it's two of those things, maybe it's not going to be that helpful, because at the end of the day, all we want is love. All we want is strength and connection in relationships. And I know how hard this is, guys. This is not something that we do easily. But I do 100% promise you that if you choose vulnerability and emotions over ego and winning and fights, even if you have a really strong point on something, I believe that it's one of the most loving things that we can do is to step away from needing to win it. Because what are we doing with that anyway? What do we gain from that? Like maybe a 5-second woohoo, I won. But then what? Right? Is that person going to be hugging you and spending time with you and really wanting to connect with you? Like, probably not. And if that's the case, then what's more important? Right? We have to pick our battles. If something is like a boundary issue and someone's really pushing your boundaries, that's a different situation altogether, right? You still have to have enough self-love to hold boundaries, right? But if this is just an argument about what's better, blue or white, I mean, who really cares? If they're desperate on being white and you're desperate on being blue, who's going to be the first one to put their tools down and go, do you know what? It doesn't matter. I respect your opinion. You respect my opinion. Let's just let things lie and see where we go. I hope that's helpful. But people versus winning. Go people.